You are now listening to the Purpose Addicts podcast.
You got to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to have the ability to self-assess, and not everybody has the ability to self-assess.
You don't necessarily have to like school to be successful in school. You just have to know how to play the game and finesse it and get through it.
Welcome to the Purpose Addicts podcast. This is a short yet powerful conversation designed to help you do 3 things that can ultimately change the trajectory of your life. 1, discover your purpose. 2, walk in your purpose. And 3, ultimately fulfill your purpose. I am your host, Coach Vic, and I'm joined as always by my lifelong friend, my brother, the educator, Dr. Shane Calhoun.
What up, homie? What up? How we doing today?
Cool and big dog. What is going on?
Oh, you know the usual, man. It's a Saturday morning. I've been up early trying to figure this thing out. I had this itch to like get up and create content, right? You know, just I plan on recording some videos later today to put up on the YouTube channel, and a bunch of thoughts just hit you at once. I don't know if you ever been there where like you can't sleep.
I'm in that web, man. I went to bed at 3.
Went to bed. Well, that's normal for you though. You a night owl.
I've been trying to prioritize sleep here lately. But you know, like my cutoff here has recently, I've been trying to get to bed by midnight. So if I get to bed by midnight, then I'm up by 6 for work. So you get at least 6 hours. Yep. I get 6 hours. I'm a superhero. So you know, I've twice this week I was up till about 2 or 3. You know, but it's not.
Every now and then I have those up till 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, but that midnight, that's about my measuring stick. Then my body started to crash a little bit.
Yeah, same here.
Hey, today we got a good show, man. We got a guest on the show today that, first off, we appeared on his show a little while back. So I want to bring him in because I already know that this is going to be a good conversation. For our audience, I want to introduce you to a young man who currently serves as staff sergeant in the United States Army, and we appreciate his service. He's been active duty for over 10 years. Now, the reason why he fits so well with us is he has a fervent love for public speaking and mentoring young adults. He tries to help them understand their why and how to double down on what God called them to do. He is not shy about expressing his faith, and that's important. He's a husband. His wife would appreciate me giving that shout out. So ladies, he's off limits. His main mission is to show you that you can still be yourself and have a relationship with God. And I want to point out, he is also a podcast host like us. His show started about the same time and is pretty dope. It is rising quickly on the charts, getting a lot of attention, a lot of views. So this is the host of the No-Tact-Talk podcast, Mr. Jay Coates. Jay, welcome to the show,
sir. Man. What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Man, good, man. How you holding up?
I can't complain, man. I got my coffee, so that's half the battle, honestly.
Yeah. Once that coffee get in and get activated.
Yeah, get you started right.
We were just talking about getting sleep and how much sleep you get. What about you? What's your routine?
So, I mean, actually, my work doesn't start. My official work doesn't start until like 9 o'clock. And so, but that means we leave a little bit later. So I'm getting home by 7, 8 o'clock every night. And I try to reclaim my time. So I'll stay up like Shane, probably about 12, 1 o'clock a lot of nights. You know, hang out with my wife a little bit. She'll probably go to sleep early because she's in school and everything. But it just depends on the day. But I think about 5 or 6. I think about 5 or 6 hours too. I was reading some studies on sleep, and they said 7 to 8 is overrated. They say all you need is about a solid 6. You know, 7 is the weekends, and you good. After that, you milking it. So you know your body and what it takes, and you good. So some people I know do about 4 or 5, and they're straight. I
was gonna say I've had times where like I've only gotten like 4 hours, and then woke up the next morning as if I got 8.
Yeah. And so what you do is you relaxing throughout the day too, though. So you might even take like a 10-minute power nap or just relax or whatever it takes to relax your brain. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, everybody got different schedules, but I mean, if you just have that, some people just have a natural energy that can just kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
Their brain pushes them forward. So it just depends. And that's exactly probably what we're gonna be talking about, like people's passion, what pushes them past, hey, I just probably just need 5 or 6 versus 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, I wish I could be more consistent, but when you got stuff rolling around in your head and you're trying to figure out what to get off, do I wait? Do I take some notes right now, do it the next day, or do I just got to get up and get this off my chest right now? That's the hardest part for me.
How many videos you plan on recording today?
2 minimum, and a third, depending on if we got some running around to do, if I can get back in time, because I'm thinking about editing and how long that's going to take me.
How long has that process been taking you?
Outside of my perfectionist tendencies that I'm trying to get over.
Yeah.
It take me probably per video, I'd say right now, probably about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, because I'm looking for the right transition, intro, outro. I'm fortunate enough so far, the videos that I've recorded of me, I haven't had to cut and edit a whole lot. But my perfectionist side is I want a bumper on the front, a bumper on the back, and it look smooth. It look, professional. And that's my hardest part, is designing that piece. I got some software that helped me, but yeah, that's probably about the time frame.
Dope.
Yeah. So do this, Shane. Take us down. What blew your mind this week?
Cool. So I've been reading 10X by Grant Cardone, and it is blowing my mind in a lot of different ways. So along with that, this week I listened to Master P's interview on The Breakfast Club. I don't know if it was a recent interview or if it was from months past. So just as a guess, what do you believe P's net worth is?
As a guess, I know he owns a lot. People don't know about it. I would say his net worth has got to be at minimum 100 mil.
I say 150 mil.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, one of the things he talked about in the interview, he said, when in being an entrepreneur, and I'm paraphrasing, it's 90% product and 10% talent. Never thought of it that way. 90% product and 10% talent. So when I heard that, he started breaking out with his oodles and noodles, his chips. He got sneakers. He got this. He got that, and the third. So when I looked it up, his net worth is at 200,000. Which 200 million. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
His net worth is at 200 million. Which, listening to him speak, and I sound like a complete jerk because my net worth is $22. But when I heard 200 million, I was like, that seems very low to me, comparative to all the product that
that's liquid though, right?
Is putting out. I didn't get into that. I'm not exactly sure.
I've researched Jay-Z, and so he might say it was 200 million, but he'll have like the 300 million assets, like they're tied up into something. They're
tied up into something. Gotcha. Well, JC is he's over $1 billion.
Oh yeah, he $1 billion. Yeah, I'm talking about earlier on. Yeah.
Diddy's like at 800 million. But when I looked at it and I said 200 just sounded low, I would take a tenth of that and be happy.
Shit.
It started to get me to think about just the different ways people get money. And with P, you nailed it. He has a lot of ownership. But if you look at the net worth of like Jay, you look at the net worth of like Diddy, they have a higher net worth, but a lot of their net worth comes through partnerships. And you remember last week I told you that Jay-Z's net worth increased by like 40%. So it just kind of blew my mind that there's so many different ways and so many ways to skin the cat. And that we just have to tap into all of them. I think sometimes people just preach ownership, and like almost as if partnership is bad, or you look at it from the perspective of like LeBron James is close to being a billionaire, but the least amount of his money comes from his actual job. And it's all sponsorships and this, that, like he got a $90 million contract out of high school from Nike. So, find different ways to skin the cat, and ownership is great. Ownership is necessary, but it's also important to partner with people. Like, just look at us right here. I believe both of our podcasts are going to grow just by the nature of the last 2 weeks. And that's because we decided to partner together and make it pop.
I mean, already just from, I was talking with Jay immediately after the show, and we was like, I asked him, I was like, how do you see reviews? I think that's a great idea when you talk about growing. And he put me on, how do you see the reviews? And I'm looking at now how he promotes and how he's clipping, you know, the videos, and he's streaming it to YouTube, right? That right there encourages growth just in that, you know, that being exposed to that. My wife and I, we were talking this weekend, saw an article, Alvin Kamara says he has never spent a check from his NFL contract. All of what he spent comes from his endorsements. He has saved since his rookie year. Every check has yet to cash it.
And that's the other thing with I think it was Grant Cardone that said it, like, people get rich not necessarily off their livelihood and their jobs. They get money off of what they do outside of their livelihoods, and that's where the real wealth is really built.
It's whatever, it's everything past, you know, your basic needs and necessities. You know, rent, mortgage, you know, food or whatever else. Everything else should be cake. It's just about how you gonna spend it, invest it, whatever else.
Facts.
The fact that we are so prone to get stuck in the rut of doing it the same way we've always done it, or doing it, mimicking the way that we see others do it, as opposed to thinking outside the box and asking yourself, all right, here's the goal that I want to accomplish, but what are the different vehicles in which I can still get to the destination?
And it's because we get journey shamed sometimes, like, oh, you doing it that way? Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Like, somebody the other day, Joe Buttons was knocking Charlemagne the God for having a 50% deal with iHeart for his podcast network. But do you realize the accomplishment in owning your own podcast network, where you're able to put on people of color that look like you with interests like you? There's power in that. So I would love to get 50% of something as opposed to 10% of nothing. Like, if I'm going to make 100 mil from a partnership, I'll take that over 20 mil of something that I own. You know what I mean?
That make more sense. That's a phrase you need to coin, journey shame. I ain't never heard that.
Word? All right.
You got to copyright that or trademark it or something.
Throwing it out there.
Journey Shame by Shane Calhoun.
Yes, sir.
That's a good book. Yep.
That's going to be in the book. Absolutely. So don't nobody go write a book and try to put that in there.
It's already copyrighted. Can't touch it.
That's right. We already put it out.
You heard it here first, folks.
Jay, let's jump into your journey. I would really love for you to take the conversation wherever you want to go. But today's topic, we talked about turning pain into purpose. And I think that everyone experiences pain or adversity of some sort, but it's within that sourcing how to turn it into your purpose. So take us back. How did you get to where you are now?
So when I first heard the title, I thought about this test I took at Jefferson State Community College in Alabama. And because
where you go?
I was, well, yeah, my bad. You just in there, my bad. Yeah. So my mom, like, I was growing up and I was always good at a lot of things. And my mom, she was, you know, she made sure I want to make sure that you're successful and you're taken care of, blah, blah, blah. But I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. That was probably like the biggest thing that I'll ever talk about to anybody, you know, young kids, especially, about, because you're in a prime part of your life, or even you could be, you know, 7 years old, like Colonel Sanders, whatever, right? And still have dreams, want to do things, right? So you're in a prime point of your life to figure out who Jay is, to figure out who you are, right? Figure out who Shane is, right? And but you always talk about you gotta be able to do this job for free, blah blah blah. So anyway, so I'm taking a test, and it's a test that just sees what your aptitude test kind of thing. Like, I'm good at mechanics, good with my hand, you know, that type of test, right? No fail test. So you're more prone to, you know, electronics or engineering or whatever else. Mine was like even, you know, like it was nothing identifiable about me. And I've done all types of tests and stuff online. So through finding my purpose is a lot. And so I got to a point where, okay, I'm trying everything online. I'm talking to people. I'm trying so many different things. If you look in my closet, man, it's like tennis rackets, it's a piano, it's a sketchbook. It's all types of things that I'm trying. I can cut hair though. That one stuck. I tried cutting hair for a minute. out of necessity, because back when I was at Fort Campbell, they was charging like $50 a cut and it was trash. I was like, man, I might as well go give me some clippers, and I got good cutting hair. So that's one that stuck, which is cool, but it still wasn't like my passion, right? And so in talking to people, I figured out that so many people either give up and just do what makes money, the most money, what makes sense, right? They blame it on their life, their career. Yeah, I got kids. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a great reason, but still, there's no excuse for you to at least not try, right? We see all these success stories. I mean, you got a lady, I think she had like 7 children, still has her own business, this, that, and the third. And it's like, I forgot what her business. It's something simple, like t-shirts, like, just basic stuff. But she's passionate about, marketing or whatever else. But she got 7 kids. Is it super hard? Yes, But earlier on, I feel like that there's like this sweet spot where people like try to figure out what their purpose is. And, it's either it's super discouraging, like I said, or, they try it and it doesn't work, or money or something, something happens that gets them off of the path. So for me, I'm trying everything. And that's what discouraged me. So I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to, try anything. So earlier on, and I prayed throughout this whole journey. So I feel like everything I've done kind of brought me to a kind of a pivot point. So before I went active duty, I was in the National Guard for 6 years as well in Alabama. And I was working at AT&T at the time, because every job I've had has been running my mouth. Every call center job, I was a guy knocking on doors, selling little K-bar knives, I've done everything as far as like people, even when I when I came back from basic training, my brother got me a job as a personal trainer, because I was, I'm great shape back then. I'm good shape now, but I was like on it, working at the gym. So I was still talking to people, they come in the gym, trying to get that membership, right? And so I talked to the wife that might come in, she wants to lose like 10 pounds, whatever, get into a dress, and then the guy be like, I don't want to join. The guy, he's just coming to make sure I'm on the up and up, make sure you're trying to talk to my wife, right? So I'm like, I pull him to the side, hey, Mr. Smith, like, hey, you work out 3 times a week, that prevents erectile dysfunction, man, by 80%. It's like, whoa. All right, man, go on, give me a little card, bro. So even just that small example, those situations came natural to me. Just being able to talk, to look somebody in their eye, to give them that body language. And throughout that time of me finding my purpose, I never thought that was a thing. I never thought that, talking could be or relaying an idea, being persuasive, right, could be like my shtick, right? And so right before I went active duty, that was a really big point. It was what I'm leading up to. I wanted to be a flight attendant for Delta, or I wanted to be a correction officer. It was just jobs, man. Yeah, it was 2 completely different jobs. It was just jobs. Like, it wasn't really my passion. I just said, hey, if I be a flight attendant, I can get to travel. I get to talk to people all the day. So obviously before COVID. And then if I want to be a correction officer, it was just like a route. I knew it had good money. It was just cool. I wasn't really like scared of being a correction officer at the time. It was like a max security prison too. Like, yeah, I get paid $5 more. Not even knowing what I was going to have to do, but it interests me. So I was like, I'll just try this, because I still wanted to say, if I don't know what my purpose is, what I'm supposed to be doing right now, I got to do something. And that's another thing. I feel like people just find these dead end jobs. And that's probably what that would have been for me. So anyway, I prayed and I said, hey, God, well, I said that if these 2 jobs don't work out, I'm gonna go active duty. Now, for me to say that was a lot, and it was a fake step for me, because in the Guard, I'm like, I ain't ever going active duty. I ain't getting deployed. I ain't doing none of this stuff, right? I'm talking all that mess, because I never thought that this was gonna be my 20-year thing. And so, long story short, I went to the interview twice. I'm not trying to be long-winded, but for Delta, they do 2 video interviews, a phone interview, and then they fly you out to Atlanta. In person, and to get to that point, it goes from like 100,000 people to like 300. I made it there twice in the same year. There was one in January and there was one in August. Made it there twice, and the second time, first time I felt like I didn't give it my all. Like, I was kind of sick. I was like, all right, the second time I'm gonna kill it. Second time, prim proper press suit, had the Delta blue on. I had my airborne wings on because I was airborne, right, from military. I was talking to all the planes, prayed about it. I knew this was my job. And because when you start to do something, you could trying to have that purpose. So you think, this got to be what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this. I feel so good about it. Turn me down, So And while I'm doing that, I was waiting on the call back from the COs, from the correction officers. So long story short, I was like, all right, God, that next January I was in active duty, went in, and I said, I felt a peace about it. I said, hey, God, that's about trusting too. Like, I might not be where, okay, my purpose is now, but I feel like I'm going in the right direction. Because a lot of times we might not find our purpose later on, 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
For one, because we're not ready for it. Or for two, we're personally not ready. God, like, I can't give you all this fire if you just, you're not even believing in yourself, whatever else, right? So you got to even get to that certain point where God can bless you. And he knows where it's supposed to be. We just don't know. And so that's just me trying to keep faith, trying to, still obviously pay bills, have a life, things like that. But it wasn't, I knew it, even if I was going to active duty, that wasn't going to be my end all be all. Because think about it, your average military lifespan is 20 years. And I'm supposed to retire at 37, right? And so what am I going to do now? So obviously that's not my purpose. But I say it is a way. It's good money. You get paid in the 1st or 15th, whatever else. I say it could be worse situations while I'm trying to figure it out. So I did that 2 weeks after I went active duty. The COs called me and they said, hey, you ready to go? And I'm like, I'm already active duty now. And then, the rest is history. And so that was kind of confirmation for me. God was like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, man. And so from that point, I think a little bit before and when I went active duty, to kind of backtrack a little bit, I was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I'm like, man, God, like, and I talk to God just like I talk to anybody else, like, bro, like, what's up? Like, I'm trying, I'm doing all the right things, and that's what I think is people too, is when they feel like they're doing the right things, they ain't cheating their wife, they paying tithes, whatever else, right? God, you supposed to be showing up for me because I'm doing right. Everybody in my life is acting a fool, but I'm trying to walk that line. So I felt that way, and it was like I used to cry a lot, honestly. I think purpose, what y'all do is amazing here. That's why I love the podcast so much, because I feel like almost everybody, if not everybody, worries about what am I here for? Even if you don't believe in God, what am I here for? What's my thing? And I get mad sometimes seeing these little child prodigies playing the drums and having these natural whatever talents and all this crazy stuff because like their parents poured into them at like 3. And you know what I'm saying? My parents did too, but my parents just wanted me to be like successful in anything.
Right.
They never like really, hey, gave me a drumstick or gave me a microphone or whatever else and say, this is what you're gonna do.
Right. They wanted you to pick it.
Right. And that's cool. But but I'm always looking for that direction, but I never got it. Everything I feel like it's just been me and God. And then most recently my wife, because I've never had that. I've had mentors, but it was more of like on a spiritual standpoint. It's not like a career development. It's not like hey man, you should probably do this, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, but from talking to people and from my own experience, in that down season, that's what I'm saying, we give up. And so, but it's just something in me that it just some never let me give up. Something never let me. I don't even know if it's how I don't think it's how I was raised. It's just something that it's like a defense mechanism. I think I was talking about this one of the other episodes that my therapist, she was like, yeah, you have a defense mechanism to where you just automatically see the glass half full. And I'm like, I ain't never tried to do that. I'm just like this extroverted personality. And if I don't, if I get down in the dumps for too long, I'll stay there. Right. So I'm just constantly propelling myself forward. I said, all right, guys, I'm just depending on you, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, now throughout this entire time, like I talked to you before, I'm doing events, I'm talking to people, I'm hosting things. This is still before the podcast and everything. It never clicked. But one of my friends was like, yo, Jay, like you do this talking thing. I'm like, what you talking about? Like you got it. And everywhere I'm going, like, Jay, I'm just thinking people, how people just hype you up after the event, or that was nice and whatever. So I just decided to double down and speaking more and talking to folks and realizing that is a sought after, skill, talent, if you will. And so at that point, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but I just got a thought. So it will tell me if you agree. Is it not true that most of the time when you first starting out on your journey, you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, but it takes other people seeing something in you for you to
a lot of
then
times
start
it's there
paying
all
attention.
along, right? Yeah, you have that whatever thing all along, and you don't realize it because you searching for something that's you see on social media or something. But it takes other people, like you said,
it takes other people, and then it also takes action. Like you also said that, you know, you find yourself at times in a state of almost a depression, and you didn't allow yourself to get stuck. And I think that's, for me, was the biggest takeaway, that you just continued trying things. Continue trying things. Question. So as you were trying these things outside of your gift of gab, were you good at a lot of the things?
Yeah, but I wanted to be great.
Yeah, but it's a gift and a curse when you're good at a lot of things, because if you're good at it, you easily can become great.
It's like being athletic. You can kind of just pick up any sport. You know,
same here.
Yeah.
It was like I was a decent athlete, but I was also a great musician.
Yeah.
So
all of my influencers, they were great. You know, even when I was drumming for these churches, even when I was selling, even when I was selling the knives, man. Like I said, who's the greatest guy in this company? I want to talk to him. Everywhere I've been, when I was working for AT&T, who's the guy that's selling the most phones? And I took him to lunch. I said, hey, how do I sell these phones? And so it wasn't even about the phones when he sat down talking to me.
Yeah, that's a cheat code though, bro.
Yeah.
You stumbled on the cheat code, and the cheat code is whatever you're doing, the objective was to be great. So you can incidentally, in a lot of ways, bump into a purpose because you're striving, as opposed to going into something half done or with half effort, or just literally throwing it against a ball against the wall. Your objective was to be great at everything you did, which I think is a huge cheat code for our listeners and for me myself.